Welcome to the Sacred Shit Show, the podcast for women who are done performing wellness and ready for the real conversation. I'm Hannah Strange, holistic practitioner, best-selling author, and the woman who will always tell you what nobody else in the wellness space wants to say out loud. This is season 5, Capacity, the woman who can hold it all. And today's episode is why you still feel overwhelmed even when you're doing everything right. I want to start today by calling something out directly, because there is a version of overwhelm that nobody talks about. Not the overwhelm that comes from chaos, from things falling apart, or from life being generally unmanageable. That one makes sense. That one has an obvious cause and an obvious solution. Reduce the load, get more support, reorganize. I'm talking about the other kind. The overwhelm that shows up when everything is actually working. When the business is growing. When the children are okay. When you are showing up, delivering, producing, holding it all together. And from the outside, you look capable, resilient, and productive. But on the inside, your nervous system is running on absolute fumes. That kind of overwhelm is the one that breaks women. Not because it's louder, but because it's invisible. Because when you're doing everything right and still feeling like you're drowning, the only explanation left feels like it must be something wrong with you. But it isn't. And today we're going to talk about what's actually happening and why the solution has nothing to do with being more organised, more positive, or more disciplined. There was a moment that I kept coming back to when I think about overwhelm. Not because everything was falling apart when it happened, but because technically everything was working. The business was growing, orders were going out, people were praising me for how much I was handling, the kids were fed, supported, had all their needs met, content was still being posted, clients were still being held. From the outside, I looked productive, capable and resilient. But behind the scenes, my nervous system was running on fumes. I was working through the night constantly just to keep afloat, packaging orders at stupid o'clock in the morning, answering messages when everyone else was asleep, trying to squeeze work into every quiet second because there was never enough time in the day, and falling asleep thinking about business and waking up already behind. And somewhere in the middle of being mum, business owner, wife, healer, content creator, the support system for everyone around me, I stopped existing as an actual person. There was no space to just be me, no silence, no rest without guilt, no breathing room. Even when I sat down, my brain never stopped. And then one day I was standing in the kitchen trying to answer messages while simultaneously sorting orders, thinking about what the kids needed, trying to remember whether I'd even eaten, with notifications going off constantly, and my brain just stopped. Not a dramatic breakdown, not crying on the floor, just this horrible internal paralysis where even tiny decisions just felt impossible. Someone asked me a simple question and I genuinely could not process what they were saying. I could feel my body buzzing, my chest was tight, my skin felt irritated, and I was forgetting words mid-sentence. Everything felt too loud, too bright, and too demanding. And the worst part, I blamed myself because I kept thinking, I'm doing everything right. I was organised. I was staying positive. I was working so incredibly hard. I was helping everyone I crossed paths with. I was doing everything that every productivity expert tells you to do. But my nervous system didn't care how well I was performing. It was overloaded. And that was the moment that I understood overwhelm isn't always about doing life wrong. Sometimes it's what happens when your body has been carrying too much for too long while still trying to function like nothing's wrong. Before we move into today's integration practice, I've invited someone very special to flutter in and share a little magic with you. Her name is Herbal Moonbeam, our guardian fairy here at the Strange Apothecary, and she has something aligned, enchanted, and just for you.
Dear listener, it's me, Herbal Moonbeam, guardian of the green, listener to the wisdom that lives in bodies, and your gentle guide here at the Strange Apothecary. While our host steps away to tend her tea, let me settle beside you for a moment. Have you felt it lately? That deep, steady fatigue that rest alone doesn't touch. The sense that your body has slowed the pace, not because you failed, but because it needed safety more than speed. When the body hits the brakes, it isn't rebellion, it's intelligence. And that low hum inside you, the one whispering there must be another way to live, isn't dissatisfaction, it's memory. This is where the Sacred Portal opens. The Sacred Portal is a 6-month group-held multidimensional healing journey for those who are done trying to heal in isolation and done being told they should already be over it. Together, over 6 months, we move slowly and deliberately through the 5 layers that shape your lived experience: body, mind, energy, soul, and spirit. Not to ascend out of life, but to finally feel safe inside it. Inside the portal, there is no fixing, no pressure to perform healing the right way, no bypassing the body in favour of insight. Instead, we work with somatic rituals that teach your nervous system it no longer has to stay on guard, subconscious patterning that softens survival without ripping it away, energy work that clears what never belonged to you, and soul remembrance that doesn't hype you up, it settles you back into. This container is held as one group, one path, one shared rhythm, because healing doesn't happen through hierarchy, it happens through safety, witnessing, and regulation in relationship. The Sacred Portal isn't for those chasing a better version of themselves, it's for those ready to stop leaving themselves behind. The portal is now open for enrolment. One path, one group, 6 months of being held in a way most systems never taught you was possible. And because we honour the land that carries us, every enrolment plants a tree, rooting your healing into something living. And so if your body feels quieter as you listen, if something in you has softened instead of tensed, that's not coincidence. You already recognise this pace. Visit thesacredportal.co.uk or follow the link waiting for you in the show notes. The Sacred Portal. You were never broken, your system was protecting you. Now then, sweet soul, my wings are beginning to shimmer, which means it's time to drift gently back into your journey.
Thank you, Herbal. So let's talk about what's actually happening in that kitchen. Because it wasn't weakness and it wasn't failure. It was simple biology. Your nervous system has a processing capacity. Think of it like a container. And into that container goes everything. Every decision you make, every emotion you process, every sensory input that your body receives, every responsibility you carry, every task you hold in your mind, and every single relationship you tend to. All of it goes into this container. And your nervous system can hold a lot. It really can. It is an extraordinary piece of biological engineering, and it is designed to handle complexity and demand. But it still has a limit. And when that limit is constantly pushed, when the container is full and you keep pouring more in, your system doesn't just politely ask you to slow down. It doesn't send you a memo. It starts to show you in the only language it knows how. Suddenly, simple decisions feel impossible. Your brain goes foggy. Your body feels like it's buzzing or vibrating. And you become hypersensitive. Sounds are too loud. Lights are too bright. touch feels irritating. You forget words. You lose complete sentences. And you stare at a task you've done 100 times and you just can't start it. It isn't a productivity problem or an organisation problem, and it's definitely not a mindset problem. It's a nervous system in overwhelm. A container that has been overfilled for so long that it has started to shut down non-essential functions just to keep the most crucial ones running. And this part is crucial to understand, because the load isn't just the practical stuff. It's not just the orders, the emails, the school runs, the client calls. It's the emotional labour of holding space for everyone else. It's the mental load of tracking every moving part of a life and a business simultaneously. It's the hypervigilance of always being the one who can't afford to miss something. And it's the suppressed feelings you don't have time to process. It's the rest that you haven't taken. And it's the version of you've been putting last for months. All of that goes into the container too. And when women who have a history of survival, women who have learned early to keep going regardless of what their body is telling them, hit this point, they do what they're conditioned to do. They push harder. They reorganize. They make a better plan. They ask themselves what they need to fix. But you cannot productivity hack your way out of a nervous system that is in overwhelm. You cannot think your way out of it. You cannot heal your way out of it. You have to reduce the load and expand the capacity, both at the same time and in that order. So here's what I want you to hear today. I want you to really let this land. If you are doing everything right and still feeling overwhelmed, you're not failing. You're not weak. You're not someone who can't just handle things. You are someone whose nervous system has been carrying more than it was ever designed to carry alone, for longer than it should have had to, without adequate recovery time, while simultaneously being told if you just organise it better or thought about it differently, it would all feel manageable. It wouldn't, because the problem was never the organisation. The problem is the load. And the load is a capacity issue, which means the solution isn't doing more or being better. The solution is learning what your nervous system actually needs to expand its capacity to hold more without collapsing under it. This is what this season is about, and that is what we are building, week by week, episode by episode, together. This week, I want you to do one thing, just one. I want you to audit your invisible load. Not your to-do list, not your calendar, your invisible load. The things that take up space in your nervous system that never make it onto any list. The conversations you're holding in your head. The emotions you haven't had time to feel. The decisions that are sitting unresolved. The things that you're worried about that you haven't spoken out loud. The needs you have that you keep putting to the bottom pile. Get a piece of paper and write them down. Not to solve them, not to action them, just to get them out of your nervous system and onto the page where your body doesn't have to keep holding them. Because one of the most immediate ways to reduce nervous system load is simply to stop making your body be the storage unit of everything you haven't yet dealt with. Write it down, breathe, and notice how even a small act creates a tiny bit more space. And come back tomorrow for the imprint episode, where we're going to work with that space and begin gently expanding it. And before I close today, I want to say something to the woman who is listening to this and recognizing herself in every word. The one who is capable, reliable, the one who holds it all together and has been doing it for so long she's forgotten what it feels like not to be running on empty. You deserve a space where you don't have to hold it all alone, where the work of actually integrating this, not just understanding it, but feeling it shift in the body, is supported, where there are women around you doing the same work in real time, and where you are not the one holding everyone else for once. That is what the Sacred Shit Show membership is. And for £22 a month, you get ongoing nervous system support, a community of women who actually get it, and the container that makes the difference between consuming content and creating real change. If you have been the woman carrying everything for everyone, whilst quietly wondering when it's going to be your turn, it's your turn now. The link is in the show notes. Come and join us, and I will see you inside.